For the break, we were speaking with the management of All Cargo Group. Now let's put the spotlight on Wonderla. We've got a great set of earnings coming in from this company for the quarter gone by. The revenue was up 44%. PAT has expanded 40% almost as well. And there has been some margin expansion as well. So let's try and understand what the footfalls are in the theme parks right now. What's the occupancy in the resorts looking like? And more importantly, what's the outlook for the rest of the financial year? We've got Mr. Arun K. Chittilapalli, the Executive Chairman and Managing Director of Wonderla Holidays, joining us on the show. Mr. Chittilapalli, thank you so much for your time. And this has been an exceptional quarter for you with strong growth in both footfalls and spending. How much of this performance was driven by delayed monsoons versus genuine increase in demand on ground?
Thanks for having me on the show. Always a pleasure. Actually, most of our demand happened because of our new park and also our existing parks, firing on all cylinders. In fact, our new park recorded about 2.5 lakh footfalls in its first ever summer quarter. And our existing parks also grew about 15%, all of them. So I think all of that put together, managed to give us this number. Monsoons don't really play a big role in our first quarter because, usually we get some unseasonal rains in May, but this time I think May was relatively dry. The monsoons usually start from June, so we didn't have much of an impact from the monsoons. And this quarter also, I mean, so far it's looking good, but it's Q2 for us is not a very strong quarter because this is the quarter when schools reopen, colleges reopen, and everyone goes back to work. So holiday is not really top of the mind for most people. But having said that, we are expecting good numbers because we have a whole new park in a large city which is delivering footfalls, and our existing parks are also doing well, and our resort segment is also doing quite well.
Chittilapalli, good morning. Shesha this side, and since you're telling us that the outlook continues to remain very strong, the new park at Chennai is doing very well. Can you quantify that for us? How have footfalls been over the last few quarters, and how will that translate into revenue growth in the next few quarters?
So like I said, we recorded about 2.5 lakh footfalls in the last quarter, and I think about almost another 1.5 lakh footfalls in the quarter before that. So we finished about 5 lakh footfalls in Chennai in the last 5 months, which I think is a tremendous start. It's almost tracking what our oldest park, which is Kochi, is doing in its first year. So these are very encouraging numbers, and I think we should, this trend should continue. But again, caution here because it's our new park and it's our first year of operation. So we still don't know how the seasonality plays out in the new market. We're still exploring that and learning that. So it's hard to give a number on that, but I think safe to say that we are expecting a strong performance from our Chennai park this quarter.
Okay, understood. And also help us understand your ARPUs have continued to improve this quarter. Going forward, do you see further upside coming from pricing, or will this ARPU growth be driven more by higher footfalls?
So our ARPU strategy is, a bit of both. We do a little bit of pricing interventions, and also we are targeting footfall growth in all our markets. So that's our strategy for ARPU growth because pricing alone cannot, manage revenue growth. For us, both are important. So we always target a little bit of ARPU growth and footfall growth for each of our markets.
Understood. So that's as far as the ARPU growth is concerned. But let's also talk about your resort business because that delivered record quarterly performance in the quarter gone by. How significant can hospitality become as a contributor to your overall business as a percentage of the total revenue? What is it currently, and how much can it grow by?
So currently, our resort business is roughly 5% of our revenue. So it's not a big number. But we are expecting to grow this by, having multiple resorts in each of our locations. We will start working on that by the end of this financial year. We are still waiting to see how the new resorts are performing. So we want one full cycle to complete before we make further plans. So that's what we are waiting for. But I think this resort revenue can increase to about 10 to 15% of company revenue in the next few years, and maybe higher than that once the resort becomes. We have a full bouquet of resorts in each of our markets, but which will take some time. We are still new into this segment, and we have created 2 new brands. So it's still early days for us. But we are quite confident because our revenues have practically doubled in this sector in the last 1 year. So that gives us a lot of hope that we should invest more into.
Okay, that sounds good that you're going to be investing more in your resorts business, and we're going to see some expansion on that front. But I also want to ask you about your park expansion. On that front, are we expecting new park announcements in the near term? Are you evaluating any greenfield, brownfield expansion as of now, or are you looking at any acquisitions?
We are looking at about 3 or 4 states, mostly in the western and the central part of India. So we will definitely announce something by the end of the year. We are looking at a couple of tier 1 cities like Bombay, Delhi, Ahmedabad, and also smaller cities like Goa and Indore and a few others as well, Lucknow. So we'll see. I mean, we are still exploring it. It's a long gestation project, getting the land acquisition done, and also talking to the governments and making sure that the approvals are also in place. It's a time-consuming affair. Some of this is within our control, but a lot of it is not in our control. So we will definitely announce it, and at some point, hopefully in this financial year itself.
Right. I just want to take a quick follow-up on that. Mr. Chittilapalli, your peer, one of the biggest peers in the listed space for your company, has recently announced a global tie-up with a UAE company. Are you looking at any international collaborations as of now?
So our strategy is to have our own IP, and that's what worked very well for us. We do believe that India needs its own specific, IP and markets, marketing. So I think we don't see that much of traction in terms of using global brands here. But of course, we are still talking, and I think we are open to conversations to multiple partners. But our first strategy is always to create our own brands and do it. And that's what worked very well for a company like Wonderla. So we are expanding. We will definitely be expanding into major cities. And we already are now in 5 cities. And the plan is to add another 5 more large parks in the next 4 or 5 years. So definitely working on that. And also we are looking at how we can expand into the resort business. So these are all large capex projects. So I think we have our hands full for the next few years.
Okay, so expansion continues to remain on track. You're looking to expand your resort business and also expand your other businesses into other states. Mr. Chittilapalli, thank you so much for taking your time out.
Thank you.